Wahoo, it's MONKEEPOD time again. Country boy. As always, the Monkees may be a children's show from the 60s, but the Monkees Pod is not a children's show from 2026. Viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy the episode. Hello and welcome back to the Monkees Pod. My name is Sommer.
I'm Lisa.
And I'm Molly.
Today we have Season 2, Episode 7, Hillbilly Honeymoon, which has an alternate title of Double Barrel Shotgun Wedding, which is not commonly used, but I think that's kind of a better title.
Which I actually found, and I thought that was a deep dive. I found it, but...
I did find that too.
Yeah.
I looked it up, and then
all right.
First thing that comes up on Google. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be a more commonly used alternate title than some of the other episodes with alternate titles. Who knows why?
Well,
maybe it's because it's catchier.
Yeah, I found mine, the alternate title, like in some really weird way, so I'm sure you guys didn't find it that way, but I'll talk about that later.
Okay. Speaking of alternate titles, apparently this episode was adapted as a 1967 Viewmaster reel and retitled as Last Wheelbarrow to Pokeyville.
Okay.
Which is also a better title.
I like that. Yeah, there's no honeymoon in that episode.
There's not. There's just kind of a wedding.
There's a
Right.
wedding.
Yeah. Hillbilly wedding that's nothing.
No.
So they couldn't call it that.
It wasn't alliterative.
But there is a double barrel shotgun wedding.
Yeah.
There is, yeah. And of course, the historical background for the premise this time is going to be beloved sitcom The Beverly Hillbillies, which I only knew of as the vague concept of they're hillbillies and they live in Beverly Hills, and I'm assuming that's entirely what the show is.
Yeah, I just know about it from like hillbilly like stereotype culture. That's all I know.
They strike it rich.
Mm-hmm.
He's shooting at some food, and he hits a oil well.
Okay.
And yes, then he's rich, so they moved to Beverly Hillbillies. They moved to Beverly Hills.
My question with both this and the Monkees episode is, in the 1960s, were there these kind of like 1800s type people?
They're
Like, are they
still?
They appear to be from a different time period than their surroundings.
It's kind of giving Old West.
Yeah,
Well,
like
it's giving Oklahoma, but I'll get into that.
Oh yes,
Like-
this is going to be
We will get
the
there.
Sexy Oklahoma 2019 reference episode, by the way.
It is giving. It does give Old West, including the fact that they pull up on the Old West set. Like that's the first thing
True.
they do. But no, well, I don't know if this is just stereotypes, but I mean there are people who live in impoverished situations like that.
Well, yeah.
Still.
I guess it's kind of how, like, if you go to certain parts of like the former Soviet Union, it's still kind of the 1980s there.
Yeah. Well,
So in the 60s, there could have been
Yeah.
like potentially people who were still in a sort of 1800s situation.
yeah.
Okay, sure. The Beverly Hillbillies are not time travelers, is what we've established. But let's talk about some of my research. Some of the characters of this, there is Jed, the main guy, and Granny, a daughter named Ellie Mae, which is the same name as the daughter in this Monkees episode. So they just straight up copied that from a show that was still on the air because it ran from 1962 to 1971.
I just want to very briefly say that the first time they said Ellie Mae on the show, I thought they said Annie Mae, which was my mother's name.
Oh,
It was Anna Mae,
uh-huh.
which is where
Yeah.
your middle name comes from.
Yes.
Okay, go on.
There are 274 episodes of The Beverly Hillbillies. Although it was poorly reviewed, it was very popular. The New York Times called the show strained and unfunny, and Variety called it painful to sit through, which I can somewhat imagine. Although the season 2 episode, The Giant Jackrabbit, became the most watched telecast up to the time of its airing and remains the most watched half-hour episode of a sitcom.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever seen it. I mean, I used to watch the Beverly Hillbillies in reruns.
Mm-hmm. You don't know the classic episode.
I guess I don't.
Yeah. Here's another fact I found. The show's theme song, The Ballad of Jed Clampett, was written by producer and writer Paul Henning and originally performed by bluegrass artists the Foggy Mountain Boys, led by Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs. And I just went, the Soggy Bottom Boys? From Oh Brother Where Art Thou? The Soggy Bottom Boys from Oh Brother Where Art Thou are a parody of the artists who sang the Beverly Hillbillies theme song. Okay.
Okay.
Here's another fact I found. As was customary in the early 1960s, the show's advertising sponsors were woven into bumpers involving the cast. To this end, the show sometimes included extra verses of the theme song about Winston cigarettes and Kellogg's cereals.
Kellogg's always comes back. Big thing in the 60s.
They should have done that in the Monkees. They should have integrated the bumpers into the theme song.
Yeah, totally.
A couple of the cast each made a few solo recordings following the show's success, including the actress who played Grandma's 1966 novelty single Granny's Miniskirt.
Don't remember any of this.
Yeah. I'm just doing the fun facts for it this time because I'm guessing the plot of the show is pretty much... We know we can surmise the quality and texture of the show from the basic premise summary.
Right.
But there are a lot of fun facts, much like Mr. Ed. And here's a little bit about the real Beverly Hillbillies, a 2002 reality show in which they put real lower-class rural families into a mansion in Beverly Hills. But it was protested by Appalachian activists and trade unions and the U.S. House of Representatives and never aired.
Wow, wait, why did everybody hate it so much?
I guess because it was like derogatory to
I'm sure. Yeah.
lower class Appalachians. The Beverly Hillbillies is familiar to me because of that Quentin Reviews video that he made on April Fool's that was 42 hours long, called The Beverly Hillbillies Changed Everything. Quentin Reviews makes...
I know Quentin Reviews, I don't know this video.
He makes like 10-hour long videos about iCarly or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen those.
But he did an April Fool's one that was a 42-hour video about the Beverly Hillbillies.
And was it genuinely that much content?
I think
he makes long videos.
It went on off on tangents very quickly, so only like 3-ish hours were about the Beverly Hillbillies. I believe. I didn't watch it. I was sorry.
Was it full or was it like in the middle? He had nothing in there. Like it was.
That's what I mean. Like
God
almost
knows.
2 days worth of content.
God knows what's in that video. I was gonna watch it as a joke to write the script, but I couldn't do it. So
I might watch it out of curiosity.
Anything could be.
I'll see how far I get.
Anything could be in there. And I was like, how did he do that? But looking at all the material,
there's a lot to unpack.
How many hours have we done on the Monkees at this point? So who am I to judge, you know?
Well, each episode's about an hour.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
We're on hour 39.
But it took months. Yeah. So I don't know what Quentin Reeves is doing.
We could make a compilation eventually of a 42-hour long YouTube video.
The Monkees changed everything. Yes. But the main point of the Beverly Hillbillies was that a lot of the plot stemmed from the Clampetts being too unworldly to understand modern society and the culture of 1960s and 70s Beverly Hills. Their neighbors are trying to get them to leave.
Yeah.
On several occasions, the family attempts to return to the mountains after Granny feels slighted by the citizens of Beverly Hills. Because she is a Confederate. It says that on the Wikipedia page.
Well, that's an issue.
Yeah. Maybe Granny should leave.
Maybe.
Fortunately, the Granny in our Monkey episode is not a Confederate. She's very cool. Let's get into the episode and learn about all that. So we're back to James Frawley directing. He directs a big chunk here, so I guess they had him back on set. Writer for this one, Peter Meyerson. He did a good job. This is a good episode.
It's pretty good.
I was having fun with it. This one was broadcast number 39th on October 23rd, 1967. It was 44th in production. This was the first one they filmed after they went on tour for the summer on September 13th to 15th. And you can tell that because Micky is curly-haired in the main episode. Finally,
yes.
The days of torture are over. Just kidding. No, they're not, because they put him back in the...
His hair looks so cute. Yes. I got so excited.
He looks so much better. He does not look like a Goomba anymore. God bless Curly Micky. So we begin with the Monkey Mobile driving very slowly exactly down the center of the Zax line that has been drawn in the middle of the Western set this week, surrounded by 20 hillbilly extras on either side.
Yes. What I have to say about the set was the Western set, but then if you looked beyond them in the back, you could see a church and like some other buildings. So it was like right next to another set that they didn't bother blocking off. Like it was like it would look like a suburban set.
They didn't bother fixing the sight lines.
Yes.
The beautiful, luscious-looking Monkees get out of their vehicle. Micky is beautiful and free, And
Peter has a really cute shirt on.
Yeah, I
Yes.
thought that Peter's shirt is super groovy.
yes, Peter also is free. He finally has the middle part.
And he has big pendant.
Yeah, he has like this like little kid craft looking medallion thing, and his like rainbow Nehru shirt.
He clearly got to dress himself this week.
Finally they are letting them dress themselves.
Davy's wearing his beads.
Yes, and Mike's wave is so beautiful. It has a little flip. So thank you for letting the Monkees dress themselves. A hillbilly with his hat brim cut into triangles.
It looks crazy.
To show that his hat is old?
Yeah.
It,
I
like,
said
it
some
looks
of
like
these
the bottom got like blown off or something.
I said some of these hillbillies look pretty clean. Like only half of the extras did they make look like extra hillbilly, and then some of them they just kind of threw some denim on.
Yeah, the way they show Raggedy is to cut very triangular chunks out of the edge.
It looks like they tried to make a paper snowflake out of his hat.
Yeah. It doesn't... Anyway, this young man is named Judd. Poor Judd is dead.
This is Judd Fry.
Poor Judd Fry is
the
dead.
Monkeeverse.
He's here. So we are going to call him Judd. He threatens the Monkees that they must stay right on that white line because this hillbilly town is having Hatfield and McCoy off. What's that from? Is that from like Huckleberry Finn, the Hatfields and McCoys?
No, I do not know I don't know what it is, but it's not the Huckleberry Finn. I think they are its own.
Oh, they were real.
They were real people.
I didn't know that. Okay, so yeah, that's a trope of history that hillbilly families be fighting for reasons that they don't even know anymore. I wonder if that was ever a plot element on the Beverly Hillbillies. It must have at some point.
It was.
Yeah. These families are named Weskett and Chubber.
Great names.
Chubber is unfortunate. Also in the scene, there's just a cow in the back.
Yes. There's random live animals.
Various animals.
Throughout.
There's just a chicken walking through.
Throughout, they throw like a chicken.
And then they
or a pig in a hat.
have volleys of fake Hollywood gunfire next to these poor animals. So in order to not be shot by either side of these hillbillies, the Monkees have to walk directly on this line like a tightrope wherever they go. Mike sends Davy down the line to get some help.
I said because he was in front.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Davy is worried he will never see the Monkees again. But Peter assures him he will once he goes around the whole planet.
Because that's where the line goes.
Yeah.
All the way around.
And as Davy's walking off, Peter blows him a kiss because Dork is real. and also as he's going off, Mike says, "Don't hit the back of the car. Don't fall into the abyss."
The abyss.
He's so funny. So Davy gets maybe 20 feet down the line before a hillbilly daughter, who we know is a hillbilly because her pants edge is cut into triangles, yoinks him off the line for a roll in the hay.
And for a literal roll in the hay.
Yeah.
And first I said Annie Mae, and then I'm like, oh no, it's Ella Mae.
Yeah.
Sexually assaults him
Yeah.
in a pile of hay.
Why is roll in the hay a common euphemism? Because that seems like a terrible
Did
place to have
hillbillies
sex.
start it?
Well, roll in the hay is, you make hay when you go to sleep. Sleeping is
hit the hay.
hit the hay.
So the bed is made of hay.
Yes.
Okay,
So a roll
sure.
in the hay. That's why.
Yeah. I recently saw the lovely film The Bride, starring Jessie Buckley, directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. Terrible movie, but everyone needs to see it. And it's about the Bride of Frankenstein. It contains very oddly and very atonally a lot of references to young Frankenstein.
Okay.
So there's like a montage where her and Frankenstein are falling in love, and it shows them hooking up in a barn, and I'm like, is this like a very subtle young Frankenstein reference? And I think it was intentional. So that's good.
Okay.
Anyway, this young hillbilly daughter
Who sexually assaults
Davy. I'm pretty sure we all have the same idea to name her Ado Annie.
This is Ado Annie.
Because
she can't say no.
She's literally Ado Annie from Oklahoma. She wants to kiss every boy,
Yes.
and she can't say no. So
Can't say no.
And neither can Davy because she did not ask him consent. And then the first thing she said to him is, "I love you."
Yeah. She was a little bit
She's kind of
aggressive.
She's also 15, we find out, so it's not entirely like her fault.
Yeah, she's 15.
We'll get to
It
that.
makes everything worse.
Yeah.
But like,
Davy's supposed to be acting distressed that this is happening to him, but he's like fully smiling.
Yeah.
She says to him, "When my boyfriend finds out we've been sparking, he'll kill you." This is before she kisses him, and he's like, "Well, we haven't." And then her dad, Paw, actual character name, and we'll call him that because
He's also Andrew Carnes.
yeah, he's Ado Annie's father.
But at the end of the day, he is Paul.
Yeah, he threatens Davy with his shotgun
Now
to marry his daughter.
Ado Annie is a chubber,
Yes.
and then
Her boyfriend, Judd
is
a Westcott.
Yes.
So they're kind of Romeo and Juliet.
It's a little Romeo and Juliet thing going on.
Speaking of Andrew Carnes, Mike played him in his high school production of Oklahoma.
Really?
Yes, he
Of
did.
all characters?
Yes.
That's so beautiful.
It was-
I would have loved to see that.
Yeah, it was before he decided to stop being a loser and become a musician, so he did not have a singing role in his high school production of Oklahoma.
I would love to see him as either Curly or as Judd, but
I think-
Andrew Carnes
yeah.
sounds lovely.
I think he would be a great Curly. I think
would.
he has Damon Dono-like characteristics.
Mm.
Called my type. Whenever I picture him being Andrew Carnes in this 1950s Texas high school production of Oklahoma, I just think about the fact that whatever guns they were using on stage were probably just real guns
Oh,
because
sure.
it was a 1950s Texas high school.
You just bring your own gun
Yeah.
from home.
So I'm just thinking of little babyface Mike with his actual gun threatening some other high school actor. Beautiful mental image. While Davy is being threatened by Paw, there's like a pan shot that shows that he only made it 10 feet down the road and that everyone would have seen the entire preceding scene in its entirety and that there was no blocking of the sight lines. They're openly talking about the fact that Ado Annie and Judd are like dating in front of Paw. And I feel like that would be a bigger problem since Paw is so very threatening to
I
all
think Paw knows
suitors.
that.
Okay. Maybe this whole feud is just kind of like play fighting and they don't ever intend to actually shoot anyone.
Well, I would have to say it has to be play fighting because they're shooting at each other constantly, but nobody gets hit.
Everyone's
Yeah.
fine. Either
Everyone's
they're really
fine.
bad at aiming or they're shooting blanks.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. I'm like, they must be shooting like up in the air because not only are nobody getting hit, nothing is getting
hit. Yeah. But maybe, and this was my other theory was that their hatred of city slickers is more powerful and that they can overcome their differences to both threaten Davy.
It's true.
Davy says, "I'm too young to die and I'm too young to get married." Of course, you are only 16, maybe.
We have no clue how old
We don't
Davy
know
is.
how old you are
Yeah.
today.
He's too young to get married is how old he is.
If you think about it, Davy is kind of the Ali Hakim of this Monkey Oklahoma.
Oh, yes. He's kind of like the interloper who does not want Ado Annie's attention, but he
and he's
gets bestowed
the
it.
city slicker guy.
Yes.
Who no one quite likes because he's not one of their own.
Yeah.
But Pa would rather he marry Ado Annie than Annie pursue anyone else.
And I
guess.
know Davy's got a bag full of pink handcuffs.
Oh yeah, he's got a bag full of tricks.
Yeah. So Micky comes up to try and stop the fight. He says, "Cease and desist, friends and neighbors. Do not fight out each other in anger. Lay down your arms." And then they slightly point the guns up at him, and he goes, "Pick up your arms and fight for what's yours." I guess he means point them back at Davy, but why would you say that when the arms are being currently pointed at you and your besties?
And they said run for cover. And
Yeah,
the
Ado Annie
monkeys-
yoinks Davy to the side. They all start shooting each other.
My monkeys scatter.
Mike and Peter are calmly waiting on top of the seats in the Monkey-mobile with the top down.
Just in the back, sitting there.
You will be shot.
Yes.
And Mike says, "Welcome to Swineville, Peter. A happy, sleepy little hillbilly town where seemingly innocent, nice, naive people turn just like that to a vengeful, hateful mob." Peter says, "How do you know that?" And Mike says, "'Cause these are my people." No, they're not, Mike. You grew up in the inner city. The writers are being classist to Mike because of his accent, and they assume he is a hillbilly.
Simply because he's from Texas.
Yeah. One of the hillbilly extras is a woman with like a prairie bonnet.
Yes.
So maybe the Beverly Hillbillies aren't time travelers, but I think
Some of these people
perhaps the Monkees are, and they have fallen through a wormhole.
I don't think the costume designer worked very hard
No.
on anything happening. to these
Yeah.
people.
No, there are different time periods, different things going on.
Well, they're always like that, though. It's always like this is remotely somewhere near what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
Whenever
Put it
they're
on.
whenever they're racist to someone, they set them back in whatever time period people tend to think of them as.
That's true.
This is like almost racist. It's classism for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
it's certainly negative stereotyping.
Yeah. Somehow Micky ends up in the hay pile with Ado Annie.
Who sexually
assaults him. By the way, Ado Annie has like large teased, like bump it 60s hair and pigtails. It's a hairstyle.
She has like a full beat too.
Yeah.
Like, her makeup is perfect.
He was a little less reluctant than Davy.
Mm-hmm. Assaulting 2 strangers in 5 minutes. And then we meet a little old lady who forces Davy to help her cross the street before she threatens to kill him.
This is Monkeyverse Aunt Ellen.
Yeah. Yes, Monkeyverse Aunt Eller, Ma. And my question to her is, girl, which family are you from? Because there are kill orders for anyone on the wrong side of the line.
Right.
And you were definitely on the wrong side of the line for half of that interaction.
Yes, it was confusing. And actually, I saw on some webpage that they listed them both as Ma and Pa, like of the same family, and they're not.
They're not. No, that would be incest because the children are dating each other. She is Judd's mother.
Yes.
Pa is Ado Annie's father, and Ma is Judd's mother. Right. Do you want to tell us about your research and the deep dive you took on Ma?
Ma was played by an actress named Billy Hayes, who was Witchy Poo on HR Puffin stuff.
Never heard of this.
Never heard of this.
This is insane. We're going to look this up right now because it's really...
It was a 70s, like early 70s children program.
HR
Puffin stuff.
Yeah, so there's this guy.
I've definitely seen this thing before.
He is a dragon.
Sure. Apparently. If you say so. That's what dragons look like. And he's best friends with this little boy.
Davy Jones' child.
Yes. Literally. This boy, not only does he look exactly like slightly smaller Davy Jones, he sounds like him too, and he also played the Artful Dodger on Broadway.
That completely tracks. There you go.
Is he
British?
Yes. Okay. He came from the same factory as Davy. Yes. Also, Cass Elliot was in the movie of this.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So there's a movie.
It was a TV program.
Here she is. She is. Doing voodoo on that dragon.
Yes. She is Witchy Poo, and I remember watching HR Puff stuff. I don't remember comprehending any of it, but I also remember the fact that Witchy Poo was a character and that she was all over the place. And if you look, all of the children's programming from the 70s, everybody's on each other's shows. Like they just travel over. And if you look at her page, it's like Witchy Poo in like Bewitched, like every other program she was in as Witchy Poo.
She was popular.
But she had a very long, I think she actually had a very long acting career, aside from being Witchy Poo, you know. She went on for years and years.
I believe, I might have to fact check this, but I believe she's also in more episodes of the Monkees as kind of another different old lady.
Okay, yeah,
it's kind of her specialty.
I didn't notice that. I may have gone off on my little tangent.
What's interesting to me about this actress is that she appears to only be like in her like early 40s.
Yeah, it looks like she's wearing like old makeup, or at least really just a wig.
They have her olded out. Like they have altered her age, but I guess she was very good at playing an old lady.
I think that's why I looked up initially. I'm like, who is this old lady? And then I was like, oh, she's not necessarily old. Oh, no, I looked up Dub Taylor, who plays Pa.
Okay.
And he was from Gunsmoke and something else, but he's kind of famous for playing like old hillbilly.
All of the actors, all the guest stars in this are really good. They're all really funny. They're all really distinct characters.
Yeah, they're better than our usual guest stars.
Yeah, none of them are just like generic villain. All of each of them have like at least one good line or one good face that they make or something.
It's not like the traditional villain duo we normally get, which is man and other stupid or man.
Yeah, you have two sets of like parent and child. You have a father-daughter set and a mother-son set, which are kind of interesting dynamics. So it is a very different and fun episode.
Okay. I also have Lou Antonio, who plays Judd. He went on for a very long time, but he was in Cool Hand Luke in 1966.
Okay,
so he was like extremely famous at this point, playing this character on the Monkees. But he has his own website. Still. So I went.
He's still working.
He's still working. Well, and then is it him or no? Maybe it's somebody else went on to be a producer on his website. I think it is him. It lists all of his credits, and this is listed as double shotgun.
Oh, that's how you
and that's where I found it,
Okay.
the alternative title.
So Ma and Judd take Davy away to their cabin to kill him there. Unclear. Micky crawls out of the hay pile to get away from Ado Annie, but Pa threatens to make him marry her.
Yeah.
And after like 5 seconds after that, Mike and Peter come out of the pile to help. First of all, thanks for waiting 5 seconds, guys. Second of all, how long were you all back there for? Ado Annie. Party girl. She was having fun in the pile with 3 monkeys.
Well, Peter and Mike show up, and they seem a little bit ticked that Micky was kissing his best friend's girl.
They have strong senses of loyalty for their sexual assaulter. And Paul's like, you're kissing my daughter. You're Davy, right? And Mike's like, that's not Davy. This is his best friend, Micky.
Yes, that's right. He was throwing him under the bus.
Yeah. And to this, Pa says, well, I don't care who it is. LMA's got to get married because tomorrow she'll be 16 years old and I don't want nobody calling her old maid. Oh! All of the monkeys are canceled for rolling in the hay with a 15-year-old.
I said, no way this chick is 16. She's not even 18 to play young. She's not even like, you couldn't possibly have cast her as a 16-year-old. She looked like...
She's lived a hardened hillbilly life.
She was like through 30 years old.
Yeah. That might just be her makeup. She does have kind of a cut crease.
She does.
Pa's actor is legit really funny.
He's really good.
Yeah. There's this other exchange. Pa goes, Judd Westcott took Davy up to his cabin at gunpoint, but I wouldn't fret none about him. How come? Because he's probably dead by now. Like, I think it's just deadpan, gleeful at the possibility of this boy's death.
So now Pa has these 3.
Yeah.
And Judd and Ma have Davy.
Yeah. I said, see what happens when you break monkey formula of evil man and his dumb heavy, you get fun villains. Although this is a different monkey formula of Pa and daughter, but I don't think we've had like the Pa and daughter be on the villain team before. Normally,
no, not really.
Normally, Pa's in a tough spot. We gotta help him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple more like Pa villains as season 2 goes on, and they're always the best. Like Dracula in Monsters Monkey Mash is a Pa technically because his daughter is there, and Mendrick the magician, played by Captain Hook in Monkey's Paw, is a Pa with a daughter. Make more Pa's the villain is the lesson. So we cut to the Westcott house, Judd's house,
with Ma and Davy.
And Davy's distressed. He turns his head and he bonks his nose on Judd's shotgun barrel, which I think was real because he laughs and goes, "Sorry, I didn't mean to touch your gun." and Judd kind of like smiled at him, and I think he did that by accident for real. To know, so that you know this is a hillbilly cabin, in the background there are barrels and springs. So Judd proves that Davy is a city slicker because Davy knows the answer to 1 + 1, meaning he's a city slicker. And then Davy says, "But I'm not from the city, I'm English." Because they don't have cities in England. You are from the city of Manchester. This enrages Ma. She's angry to have a danged redcoat in her house.
Okay. Calls him a redcoat.
Yeah.
And claims to be born in 1812, which makes her 155 years old.
Yeah.
What's kept her alive this long is hate and vengeance.
Yeah.
And she's got some really bad powder on her eyebrows. Yeah. So that goes back to the fact that she wasn't old.
Right.
They were making her old.
That's just how good her anti-aging routine is. Not only is she 155, she remembers her birth year.
Yeah.
because Davy is like, "You haven't been at war with the British since 1812. And she says, "That's the year I was born, Sonny. I remember it very clear."
She's been fighting the British since she was born.
Yeah. Also, she had the ability to bear children into her 120s because her Judd appears to be about 30, but I hope he's younger than that actually if his girlfriend is 15.
Maybe yes, hopefully.
Yeah.
But maybe she's just the matriarch of the family and they'll call her Ma.
Yeah.
No. Her hate and vengeance allowed her to have perfect recall of her entire 155-year-old life and also bear children the entire time.
Hate and vengeance keeps her young.
Yes. Also, her teeth are better than anyone else in the show. She has like nice, well taken care of teeth, and she is smoking a corncob pipe. Absolute diva. I love Ma.
She shows Davy how to grit his teeth and snarl. Judd points the gun in his face, and Davy says, "Don't do that."
Yeah.
And-
Davy's angry face makes him look like a rabid chihuahua. And I like that he's kind of stopped trying to be cute all the time at this point.
Yeah.
Like, he makes some very crazy faces in this episode at points when it is not required.
Ma is teaching him how to be more hateful so
Yes.
that he may live forever.
You know what? I wish she would.
Then Judd's going to grind him up in his vat.
Yeah. He really wants to put Davy in that vat. He says, "I want to get him in my vat. I'm gonna grind you up like so much sour mash."
Yeah, well, for he's making it in the still.
He's going to turn Davy into gin.
Yes. Well, Davy thinks he would make a nice dry English gin.
Would you drink the Davy drink?
Sure.
You would enjoy the
I enjoy gin.
the Davy.
The Davy Jones gin.
You know, when you find your enemy and you turn him to gin in your vat.
In your vat.
Yum yum yum. So the other three monkeys are at Pa and Ado Annie's house, shaking very realistically in fear.
Peter's teeth are rattling.
Yeah. Pa asks which one will marry his daughter. They consult with each other and decide unanimously that Davy will do it.
Yes.
Davy is not there. But Pa is like, okay, go get him, but whoever goes to get him will be shot. And they are all like, we'll risk it. Guys, Ado Annie is not that ugly. Well, she is 15, so I guess maybe they don't want to marry.
But
they
don't want to
morals.
be married there and stuck there forever.
Yeah, that's true. They need their freedom.
They said they all go, and he said, no, just one of you can go. The fuzzy one on the end.
Which is Mickey.
That's
Mickey's hair.
Mickey with pure joy goes, "Oh, it's me." You know what?
And I said, Peter thought this was funny.
It was. That's a funny way to describe Mickey. The fuzzy one on the end. So Pa says he's going to keep the other two. And Ado Annie says, "But Pa, I thought one of them was for me." "Yes, his name is Davy and Mickey is going to get him right now, girl. Keep up." What the hell? She's not listening. But she has to hit on all the monkeys non-consensually. So this is the part of the episode where she hits on Mike and Peter. So she goes to pick between the two remaining options, and she goes up to Mike and goes, "I think you're cute." And he goes, "So does my wife and kids."
Which, in the universe, he's just saying to
Yeah.
get away from her, but it seems really meta.
But
knowing-
also, Mike never stopped you before in real life.
only when it comes to 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
So-
Phyllis put her foot down. She did not want Mike kissing
Kissing
anyone in this episode.
This one.
Yeah.
Who's kissing everybody else. So he says he's going to go with Mickey.
Also, I know there was some 10-year-old girl watching TV who found out that Mike was really married this way and was devastated. So they abandoned Peter there to marry Ado Annie, even though they're getting Davy. I think they're just trying to escape the town at this point.
Yeah, so that's the plan.
Yeah. Then we cut to the best shot in the episode. First, it starts with the generic hillbilly backing track, which we will hear very much throughout the rest of the season. It's like, we pan over a bubbling contraption with jugs and wires to Judd climbing up the side of a vat with Davy in a sack over his shoulder. Davy is making this insane rabid chihuahua face with his eyes bugged out. And then Judd looks over his shoulder and goes, "You city slicker, I'm gonna put you in my boiling vat."
He just wants to cook Davy up.
Davy is back in the mail sack, is what I
Yeah.
said. From the other episode, they mailed him.
Yeah.
And I said, they found this bag that he fit in, and they're going to try to see how many episodes they can use it for.
Mm.
He was putting him, that was a distillery. That was his still. He's making moonshine.
"You city slicker, I'm gonna put you in my boiling vat."
So Judd's carrying him over his shoulder like he's a child, and going to put him in the vat of his still.
"You city slicker, I'm going to put you in my boiling vat" is the best line in television history. Give Peter Meyerson an Emmy now. But before he can do this, they hear someone coming.
And he drops the gin.
R.I.P. Davy thinks it might be the sheriff coming, but Judd says that Ma is the sheriff. Her icon status continues to grow.
Yes.
Yeah, he drops Davy on the floor next to the live chicken.
And then said he bruised the gin.
Yeah. And Ma found that pretty funny in a
Yes.
way that I think means it was like Davy improv. And she was like, "Wait, that's like actually funny, Davy."
She likes him now.
Yeah. I can't wait till they join the Hillbilly family. They get along so well.
At this point, I realized that I keep writing Hillybilly. Don't know why.
The Hillybillies.
The Hillybillies.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So Hillybilly, Mike, and Micky
show up.
You can tell that they're hillbillies because they have like overalls and hats on, and because Mike, as they're walking up, says, "Ooh, I'm just a dirty old hillbilly."
That's just your voice, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Because Mike's giving us a little commentary.
They pull up to Ma's cabin with their beautiful daughter, who is a pig in a stroller. This is the family that liberals want. Okay. Gay dad, male mom, and woke dog.
I said, is this Shadow Realm costuming, or did they mug a hillbilly on the way over there? Like, where did they get these clothes?
Where did they get this pig? Whose pig is that?
Whose pig is this?
Whose pig stroller is that?
Where'd they get clothes for the pig?
Yeah, the pig is also wearing clothes.
They're trying to stretch this script because they have an actual scene where they stop walking, and Mike can't find Micky because he turns the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like, it was no purpose to the scene.
Well, the purpose is to show that they are stupid and that Mike does not have any object permanence.
Like, he stopped and looked to the left and was like, where'd you go?
Yeah, this is what I mean about like season 1, that like Peter is stupid. Season 2, Micky, Mike, and Davy are stupid, and Peter is brain dead.
Yeah.
Like they've all been lowered to season 1 Peter level, you know.
There was no point in having them do this, except that they didn't have enough in the script.
Well, Mike improv'd, and it was hilarious. So they introduce themselves to Judd as his hillbilly cousins that he doesn't remember, and they like run through a bunch of hillbilly names before like he agrees that he does remember them. And they say that they have brought the pig for dinner, and Judd says, well, the pig can eat with us, but you two get vegan king. This is a good episode. A lot of the jokes and characters are like actually making me laugh.
I actually thought the bit with the where your cousins Claude and Leroy.
Yeah.
Did you remember your cousins Claude and Leroy? No. Do you remember your cousins Roland and Clem? No. Mm-hmm. And no, Luke and Ezra? No. Do you remember Roland and Clem? Yeah. Okay, well, we're Roland and Clem. And then he goes, what happened to Clark, Leroy? And he asked, what happened to the other ones? I was like, I thought that whole bit was pretty funny.
It was pretty good.
Right. And then they keep like, I think this whole time the hillbillies know that they're imposters and they're just testing them because they can proceed to make up like, they're like, hey, these cousins you said you were, we always used to do this and this with them. Don't you remember? Like they just want to mess with them.
They invite him in and Mike stamps on Judd's foot so hard it gets stuck to the ground.
Yeah. And Judd doesn't react for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, he doesn't react for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But it was such a hard stamp that he can't lift his foot off the ground.
He got pressed into the dirt. Back at Paul's cabin, there's one shot of Ado Annie kissing on Peter. Glad we checked in on that.
Sexually assaulting Peter.
Yeah, glad we checked in on that.
Under a moose head.
Amazing.
Peter opens his mouth when he's kissing her, too.
Wow.
You can see it.
Peter is so good at... Peter, that was not necessary.
He's real into it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
That's just how he kisses, okay? He makes out with everyone. And
then we go back to
then we go back to the Judd cabin for the real scene.
Mike spots Davy in the sack, hiding behind the still, looking like a ghost in Scooby-Doo. Because he was going like this.
Yeah.
Well, like sack was coming
He does
up.
not spot Davy. Well, first he's talking to Judd. He addresses him at first in a Mickey Mouse voice because he is scared. And in this shot, the shape of the microwave is indescribably beautiful. Like it is like curled like a cartoon in the front and in the back. Beauteous. And he sees the sack moving, but he's like, where's Davy? Where's Davy? What's that? And Ma's like, that's our laundry. We use a lot of starch. Wouldn't that make it move less?
Wouldn't that make it stiff?
Yeah.
Probably. But I said it looked like a ghost in Scooby-Doo. That would be like, oh, it's not really a ghost. It's so-and-so in this sack.
Yeah.
There's a guy in a sack.
Yeah. Put a monster mask over that head. Yeah. To prove that they are really true hillbilly cousins, Judd makes Mike play his nose, which he
does.
Yeah, and he says, you always used to play your nose while accompanying Ma on the garbage. You know, when Ma used to play the garbage. And Mike tries to get out of this by using his incredibly fake excuse cadence to explain that, well, my nose is out being fixed, and this one is a cheap lore nose, and it's too cheap to play. This makes Judd begin to suspect that they are not only not really their cousins, but also not even real hillbillies. So Mike agrees to play his nose, which... is this a hillbilly thing? I don't know.
Is playing the garbage a hillbilly thing?
It consists of him kind of petting his nose while a cartoon boing sound effect plays.
Yes.
And then Micky says, would you say this is your first nose job? Okay.
Micky accompanies him on the pig.
Yes.
Which means he slaps the live pig he's holding.
Yes.
And says pig.
He says, yes, he says pig, pig, pig.
Pig, pig. As he's hitting the
Great
pig, I'm
job.
like, oh, now we're hitting pigs.
Yeah. Do not hit that pig. Leave that damn pig alone. And then Papa Jean's blues starts.
Of course.
Because why not?
It's kind of funny. We haven't been Papa Jean'd in a while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's like a song from it's from their first album. It's not like they need to promote it. I guess they're using it because it's like hillbilly tonally appropriate.
Sure.
Maybe.
It's a good song.
They've never tried to match the tone of the song appropriately to the energy of the romp before, so this is revolutionary. According to IMDb, it's the only instance where the second season uses a track from the first. So
Okay.
they
Just 'cause
really...
it was so fitting.
Yeah, they just were like, this is perfect. Mike, your song is for hillbillies. your country-inspired song, it's for hillbillies.
Mike plays the washboard.
Yeah, they all play various hillbilly instruments, including Ma and Judd. And Davy.
On a jug.
Yeah, Davy is hopping around with his head out
In
of the sack.
Yeah.
Still participating.
Yeah, diegetically, Mike and Micky continue to be unaware of his presence in the next scene, but he's participating in the romp.
Yes.
So who knows?
He's square dancing in the sack.
Yeah.
There are several shots of Mike putting in the least effort into lip syncing ever.
Yeah. Davy plays what looks like a butter churner. Somebody plays a jug. Mike plays a Judd.
Yeah.
Micky jump scares them with a deer head. There's some
Okay, wait a minute.
year-old
Not only
farm
Micky
B-roll.
he had that deer head, and he was holding it like in front of his crotch, and he was running with it. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Well, you see, he was horny.
I was like, they put that on a children's TV show. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, don't let Micky improv. He's gonna start thrusting on something.
I'm like, that doesn't look okay.
Mm-hmm.
They did not care what went into these romps.
No,
They left them run wild.
Yeah, I don't think did anybody view the romps? They were like, no, just put them
no
up there.
Yeah, the editor
The
was
editor.
asleep or high. They include some like year-old farm B-roll where they all look completely different.
Yes.
You can tell they went on with this romp for a while because they actually like loop the song an extra verse longer than it actually is. And then they seamlessly edit this in by having Mike honk the horn of the washboard, and then just like they cut the last verse in one more time to make the romp longer because there was so much great material, such as Micky poorly chopping wood, Mike hauling Micky out of a well where he is the bucket, Mike trying to light Ma's corncob pipe, but he can't figure out how matches work.
Yes.
Like he tries to flick it like a lighter. Judd whips the monkeys like horses. The boys put Ma in the pig carriage and push her. And just genuinely having fun with these two guest actors, which is fun because you don't always see like they fit into the romp really well. They got the assignment, you know?
Yeah. They did more than just chase them through a door.
Yeah.
And turn around and come running through the door, which
Yeah.
is regular romp behavior for
Yeah.
the guest stars. No, they had the footage of Mike and Micky and Davy pitching hay from Don't Look a
Yeah,
Gift
that's
Horse
old.
in the Mouth,
Yeah.
which is old. And when Peter's under the pile of hay.
Yeah.
And then they had Peter and Micky balancing on boards and Peter, Davy, and Micky in a cornfield being scarecrows. And I don't remember what that was from.
Well,
What is season 1?
no, that was all from the same. Like they shot all that stuff at the same time.
Okay.
I think they do have a backlog of all the old romps, and maybe like we haven't seen some of these clips before because
Okay.
they just have like a ton of footage that they shot for all the old romps
Right.
at any given time that they can edit into any episode.
The hay, but the pitching the hay, I remember.
Mhm.
Because Peter was under the hay and I was like, they're going to stick him with that pitchfork.
Oh right, yeah, when they were gonna stab
Yeah.
Peter. The last thing I have for this romp is Mike and Micky try to copy Ma's corncob pipe swag by smoking full corn cobs because they are stupid. So now that they have romped and shown their hillbilly skills, Ma welcomes them to the family. Like they kind of know they're not their cousins, but they've decided to adopt them because they can hang. While showing Judd his nose playing technique, Mike yells at Micky to engage the next stage of the plan, which is letting the pig out so that Ma and Judd go chase after it.
I said, but he was still high from smoking his corncob
Mhm.
because it took him a while to realize he was supposed to
Yes,
do this.
certainly.
He was just standing there like, what?
And after they leave, Micky says, "Villains are gone."
Villains are gone.
They go to free Davy from his sack, but they open the wrong sack and get a handful of oats
And they start crying.
because they're
Davy has
stupid.
turned into oats.
Yeah, because they are stupid. They assume that Davy has been turned into oats, and they start crying over their handfuls of oats, much like Sully from Monsters Inc. when he thought Boo was a cube. And in fact, Davy also comes up behind them, pokes his head out of the sack, and is like, "What's the matter?" And then he sees that Davy has been turned into oats, and he starts crying too,
Yes.
because he is stupid, and he forgot that he was Davy, and he did not get turned into oats.
And he was not oats.
Yeah. And then they all like snap out of their crying in an instant, and Micky's like, "Okay, what do we do now?" And then Mike gets out the fucking script. The script of the episode.
It's a really meta episode.
Yeah. As we get further and further into season 2, we're going to see more instances of the Monkees being fully aware that they are characters in a TV show.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I think it's like all 3 episodes that we watched for this recording day. They're all talking to the camera. They're
Yeah.
all like, they all are well aware.
Yeah,
of
there's a really crazy meta moment in the next one, but this is also pretty out there. I can't believe they let them do this and left it in the show, because this was the Monkees' idea. Like, they were like, let's just like take the script out. Like, also, I like this bit because I like to see them read off the script, because it makes it feel like we're hanging out with them on set. Like, you're suddenly aware of the fact that they're like on a set, Anyway, the script says it's time to go get Peter. So they have returned to the Chubber cabin, which is Pa and Ado Annie's house, and they make pig calling noises to draw the hillbillies outside, and then run through the door behind their no peripheral vision having asses. But unfortunately, Davy's pants get stuck on a nail on the fence.
Well, that's what he says happens.
Mhm.
There's no ripping. There's nothing.
They dub a ripping sound effect in
There's
there.
a ripping sound effect.
Yeah.
But he's standing there and his pants aren't ripped.
Yeah.
And he's not stuck.
This show, they had a dilemma where they're like, okay, we really want to show Davy's butt on TV, but also these pants cost $5 and we don't have that, so we're gonna have to fake it. So Ado Annie does spot Davy while he's stuck on this fence, and Davy calls to Mommy Mike for help. The look on Ado Annie's face when she sees Davy is incredible. It looks like she is seeing a large burger. She looks like she wants to eat him. Her acting there, like, she doesn't really have that many funny lines as much as some of the other guest actors in this, but that look there confirmed to me that every single character in this is an icon. Pa says, "Just a minute, Elme. Is this one I seen kissing you?" And she says, "Maybe. I can't tell one from the other no more." Queen. And then Pa makes Davy rip his pants further by forcing him to drop to his knees and recite wedding vows to Ado Annie. He sets him up with "I wanna," and then Davy very poorly sings "I wanna be free" at him.
He tells him he deserves to die.
Pa does not like that.
No.
Anyone that sings like that deserves to die.
Yeah, and then they go to a commercial break. And this is the first time I noticed them cutting to a commercial.
They have it.
There's some more noticeable than others. There's another noticeable one in this episode.
Yeah, I don't think they've had that fade to black for a commercial in an episode up to this point.
I don't recall it.
Maybe they got a new editor because they haven't done it like that before.
It was very odd. I was like, oh, we're going to commercial.
Yeah.
And then we came back. Exactly the same spot.
Going to commercial there, I'm guessing this was kind of a common trick in old TV shows, but I feel like he was in more peril before the commercial than after, much like when Annie Wilkes from Misery said that she used to watch the Serial Shorts And one time the hero went over a car and a cliff.
And over a cliff in a car.
And he was, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. And he was dead. And then the next week she went and he got out of the cock-a-doodie car. But she remembers that he didn't get out of the cock-a-doodie car. So I feel like that was kind of a common editing type technique where like, in the situation they leave you on before commercial, it does not seem like they would be able to get out of it so easily. Of
course not.
But then by the like vibe has changed by the time you come back because you've forgotten. But we're watching it without commercials, so it just seems like everybody like runs out of steam very fast. So the other monkeys come out, and there is an amazing exchange. Pa says to Davy, "Come on, Sonny, say it. Will you marry me?" And Davy says, "Will you marry me?" And Mike says, 2 million chicks madly in love with him and he's going to marry an old man.
That was a good joke.
It was.
Yeah. There's some good ones in this episode.
Yeah. And then Peter laughs in a really cute way to that joke.
I said Peter was smoking something inside because he thinks this is hysterical.
No, that was a genuine laugh from Peter.
Yeah. I mean,
and he covers his face.
Yeah, he's like,
exactly. It's like he totally broke. It's so funny.
Because it is. Is there like another fade to commercial there, or
no?
There's some
just
jump
cut.
Yeah,
they just cut to
because we cut
next
to
scene.
Mickey's looking through the cabin window. He goes, "They're dressing Davy for the wedding," and then he jumps over the railing with fiddle accompaniment, slides up to Mike, and is like, "Ta-da!" He was trying to impress Mike. The Monkees decide that their new plan is going to be to prevent the wedding. They're going to get Judd to help. Okay, sure.
So they're dressing Davy for the wedding. So they put him in a suit with this giant tie that makes him look smaller, and then they put soot on his face.
Yeah, he has to be dirty.
Fit in with the
but the editing is such that there's soot, there's no soot.
Yeah.
There's soot.
They keep cutting back to like
there's different soot.
To Davy and Ado Annie and the soot jokes, and you can tell they didn't write anything for it, and it's all Davy improving because there's no jokes and it's not funny.
At least they didn't cut his suit into triangles.
Oh, you're right. They should have. How will we know that he's part of the Hillbilly clan now? The Monkees have decided that they're going to get Judd to help prevent the wedding of Davy and Ado Annie. So they go back to Judd's cabin. They like storm in the front door. Mickey goes, "Where's Judd?" Ma goes, "Over there," and then Mike comes in. "Where's Judd?" Ma, "Same place."
That was good.
This episode is so well written. Like,
it was good.
Yeah, like this and Coffin Too Frequent, which we'll get to. There are like the platonic ideal of mid-season typical. The show has found its footing. This is what a monkey episode is to me.
So we're gonna make him over into a gentleman.
Yeah, Judd. They're going to make Judd a more appealing option for Ado Annie so she doesn't marry Davy.
They're going to teach him proper manners.
Yeah. They say, "You got to treat her like a gentleman." And then he says, "But
she's a girl."
Yeah. And Mickey says to that, "Isn't that dumb?" Have we had that yet? Because that's a catchphrase.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember it.
Yeah. It's not as common as "don't do that," but it's a catchphrase. I kind of wonder about the catchphrases, like, if these were things that they said commonly. Because, like, in his audition tape, Davy says, "You must be joking."
Oh, yeah, he does.
So I think they were kind of taken from their natural speech.
Because "don't do that" is very, like, that just seems very natural in their voice.
Yeah. Ma says, "Who's going to make a gentleman out of my boy in 1 hour?" Mickey says, "Only one man in the world can do that, Ma, because he has had 8 marriages himself. Raybert presents, coming straight from the mountains, Uncle Raccoon."
Okay, Raybert
is the production company.
It's a production company.
Yeah.
So they use that.
So, once again, they're aware they're on TV.
Yeah. And Uncle Raccoon, I don't know who he was supposed to be, if they made this character up.
It's an original character, Uncle Raccoon.
It's nothing, it's not, he's
Peter
not a
in a
take on
raccoon
anything.
hat. Yeah.
It's Peter in raccoon coat and hat.
And German accent.
I said Russian.
European something.
Doing a European accent.
Yeah. So yeah, he comes in and then Mike and Mickey are like, "Wrong accent, Peter." Who are you to correct anyone's accent, Mike? Because like the only accent you can do just happens to align with this episode's theme. Don't get all high and mighty.
The only accent you can do is your own accent.
Yeah.
I said, so he said wrong accent. So he switches to a hillbilly accent, kinda. Like he does like the slightest, like on every 10th word, he does a little bit of an accent.
I thought it was good.
It's better than any time Mike tries to do a different accent.
Peter is better at accents than the rest of them, I think.
I just don't think he was doing one.
Uncle Raccoon is such a like 2026 humor name
Uncle
to
Raccoon.
name a character.
Yeah.
Uncle Raccoon.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So Judd questions Uncle Raccoon about his qualifications. He says, "You know about marriage?" And Peter says, "I sure do. Here's a picture of my present wife." Judd says, "That there's a bear." Peter says, "Oh, that's my girlfriend. This here's my present wife." And Judd says, "That's a coyote." And Peter says, "Well, it gets lonesome in the hills." So much of the script for this podcast episode is just me pasting good jokes from the transcript. This does not bode well for the fairy tale episode. It's just going to be a full recitation at this point. But why are you cheating on your coyote wife with your bear girlfriend, you nasty scamp, Uncle Raccoon?
How lonely can it be if you have a
Yeah.
wife and a girlfriend?
Exactly. Also, a man who has been married 8 times is perhaps the opposite of someone you want to go to for marriage advice.
For marriage advice, yes.
No, he's good at the marriage part. He's good at the wedding part. He's not good at the marriage part.
Right. Well, he just needs to get him married. He doesn't care what happens.
Yeah.
We cut back to the other cabin.
Yeah.
And Davy finally calls Pi out for spitting on the floor.
Yeah. He thought that was one of the Davy improvs where they didn't write a joke.
And then he says it again.
Yeah.
Like,
He kept that joke going.
he did.
Back with Uncle Raccoon's marriage school. Uncle Raccoon reminds me a lot of my favorite podcast character, JP Riddles from Hey Riddle Riddle. Hey Riddle Riddle is like a riddle-based improv podcast, and JP Riddles is a character. I was very obsessed with freshman year of college, and I wrote some characters that were kind of I kind of stole that joke. But JP Riddles was like, he started as a parody of R.L. Stine because he was like a horror children's author, but then he just kind of turned into this like insane man that lives in the woods and eats trash and has a squirrel wife. So I feel like him and Uncle Raccoon are kind of birds of a feather. So at Uncle Raccoon's finishing school, Judd has learned all the good qualities a husband should have, and one of the ones he lists is cornsideration.
Yeah.
Cornsideration. And then they teach Judd what a fork is, and they force him to.
He has never used any utensil in his life.
Yeah.
Apparently.
They make him role play with Micky in a bonnet.
Yes, which there was a good response from Micky. He's role playing with them, and Mickey's response was "Buzz off, Yoko."
I think he said yokel. It wasn't Yoko Ono. Yokel.
I heard Yoko.
I missed it.
I don't think
She was around since 19. Okay,
It's possible.
look it
Yeah.
up.
on the transcript it said yokel. It was
Oh,
not
also makes
Yoko.
sense.
I
The transcript isn't official, so I'm not saying that's like 100% guaranteed. I think it was yokel.
I thought he said Yoko.
It doesn't make sense though,
No, why doesn't it make sense?
because the whole thing. Well, that's not what Yoko's reputation is.
I don't know.
Could have just been an anti-Yoko joke. I mean,
Yeah,
plenty of
people do
those.
hate
There's
on her
plenty
for
of
no
those.
reason. People do truly hate on Mother
Everybody,
for no reason.
well, they want. She broke up the Beatles.
Okay, first of all, she didn't. Second of
That's
all, the
what they
Beatles were
think.
not broke up at this point, so she did not
No,
do
but
anything
she-
of the
There
sort.
But
weren't
they
bad
met-
jokes yet.
They met 4 or 5 years prior to this. I checked it.
Okay,
They were.
I am almost certain this
She
is not
was
a
with
reference to Yoko Ono.
I know, but I thought she said Yoko.
Okay.
They might be more likely to hate on hillbillies in this episode. than
Yeah.
Yoko.
So now we get to the wedding. It is happening in the barn. The line in the center of the town goes straight through the middle of the
Right.
barn. I'm glad they designed the barn like that, so that everyone could go to barn church, because I'm assuming it's also their church. And the preacher is Abraham Lincoln.
I said got some wildly deep
The preacher looks
cheekbones.
crazy.
Yeah. I don't know where they dug this character actor out of, but he must have also played Abraham Lincoln at some point.
I think they almost dug him out of the ground. He looked.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks like the corpse of Abraham
He
Lincoln.
he looks like a corpse.
Yeah. Ado Annie's wedding dress is kind of cute, but like her hat is stupid.
The veil is dumb. I did note that. It's like, what was it? It was like almost like a headband, but not like a regular veil headband.
It's like a
weird shape.
fascinator, but it wasn't
Yeah.
very like it was.
And then the veil is like short. It's
Yeah.
like cut, not quite to triangles.
Yeah.
But
They should have cut it in triangles. You know who else has everything cut in triangles? Like the Flintstones.
Yes.
You know that it's just the sign of non-industrial materials, I guess.
So. That's a sign of the
When you
olden
have to cut
times.
things with sharp rocks.
Oh yeah, when you have
Yeah.
to, yeah, when you don't know
Sign
what a
of
knife
lack of
is,
technology.
because
Right.
you don't know what any utensils are. Also, Ado Annie's wedding dress is not pure white; it has red trim because she is a disgraceful hussy, and she is not pure.
It's more of a barn dance dress.
Yeah, it's kind of a box social outfit. So they're doing their wedding vows, and instead of saying "I do," Davy starts singing "I want to be free" again. Which, by the way, other than Papa Jeans, is like the only music so far. The Monkees and Judd in a nice suit, holding a gun, bust into the wedding. Now, when Judd comes in to the wedding in his nice suit with gun, I know how this ends. I've seen Sexy Oklahoma.
Oh yeah.
I have seen Oklahoma Broadway 2019.
This
I
is
know
just
this ends
Oklahoma
poorly.
fan fiction.
It is. So this will end with Davy and Ado Annie covered in blood, staring blankly into space.
Yeah.
The families start shooting at each other again, and also at the poor live goat and chicken.
Everyone is across the barn from each other. Now we're in a barn, not even on the street anymore, shooting, and no one is getting hit, except it must be really loud. And I'm sure nobody has provided them with hearing protection because Mike is hiding in the back and plugging his ears. And so is some other old extra lady and Peter. And they're shooting blanks right into each other's faces. Standing in front of a blank being shot from a gun is not safe.
Right.
Like, you can't do that anymore
Yeah.
at all.
Mhm.
Like, because
there's a
could
chance
still
the
be-
blank can like come out and
Yes,
hit
a
people.
piece of the blank could break apart.
Yeah.
The casing can break apart. And be projected out of the thing. You should not be standing in front of a blank being shot.
Right. Also, there's the poor little live goat.
And they're alive animals
Oh, yeah.
in the barn.
The goat is like flinching. Get that goat out of there. Get the ASPCA.
It was trying to climb in at some
Yeah.
point. It's trying to get like behind one of the pieces of wood.
Yeah.
At some point in the middle of the shootout, I don't know when, but there is another fade to commercial.
Yeah.
It fades up and they're just still shooting.
Yeah.
I said there's at least 2 cows, a goat, and a chicken gets tossed into the middle of the barn.
Stop throwing that bird. Stop it. Davy takes Ado Annie aside in the back of the shootout and asks who she likes best of all the boys. And she says, well, I guess Judd. Okay, girl, sure. Davy's like, okay, great, I'll go get the preacher. And Judd says to him, thanks, stranger. Say, I'd sure like for you to be my best man. Judd has no friends.
Okay, wait a minute. Well, what does he do? So what does Davy do? He says, oh, that's a really nice gesture. And then he goes like this. And he flips his teeth with his finger.
What?
He goes,
He like bites his thumb at him Shakespeareanly?
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly what he did.
Interesting. And Judd asks him for $2 for the preacher, and Davy goes, $2? How much is that in English money? 17 shillings 6 pence. Oh, I can manage that. Okay, Judd doesn't know what a fork is, but he can do like money conversion better than Davy, who has never had questions about the value of $1 before and has lived in America for like at least like a year and a half showtime. So also, I don't know if that tracks conversion right because I don't know what a shilling is. So they like bring Abraham Lincoln the preacher over, and Judd and Ado Annie get kind of married in the back.
That's where they fade to commercial.
Yeah, right
okay.
before the real ass wedding. Now they're married, and Pa declares that the feud is over, and everyone is instantly okay with that.
To that I said, the farmer and the cowman can be friends.
Yeah, the farmer and the cowman should be friends because one man likes to push a plow.
The other likes to chase a cow, but that's
That's
no,
no
reason,
reason
why
why
they
they
can't be friends.
Celebration commences.
Yeah, Pa tells Judd, he's like, go kiss. And then Judd goes to kiss him.
Yes.
Because everybody wants to marry that old man. And then we have one final shot of our Monkees. Mike's twirling his finger around like this, like he wants them to skip to the next song. Davy says knock knock. Mike says who's there. Davy says wah. Wahoo. That's right. Wahoo. Wahoo.
And that's it.
What?
That's the joke we're
I said,
ending the
wahoo?
show on?
Peter stands there smiling, looks like he's trying to figure out what's going on.
Wahoo.
What?
Peter was barely in this one.
Maybe
He did not have much to do.
No. And there was no rainbow room song.
No.
No.
Well, because
Only
they
a
had
pop song.
they had so many great jokes that it actually filled the episode up.
They
and
could
that-
actually write
Yeah.
an episode.
Yeah, they didn't
Didn't
need
rely
1
on
minute
songs.
short. This was a really good one. I don't know. I had fun with this. I had fun watching it, and all the guest stars. You know what? I said that like this and Coffin Too Frequent are the good episodes. Coffin Too Frequent is similar in that all of the guest stars are good, but that's because there's like only like 2 additional characters.
Yeah,
but
there
this
were a
one,
lot.
there were a lot of people in it. Well, a lot. There were 4 people in it, but all of them.
But they all did significant stuff.
Yeah, they were all like really interesting, distinctive characters, even though they were kind of these monkey episode archetypes of like father daughter. Ma was not an archetype. We have not seen anything like
We've
Ma
not seen
before.
Ma yet.
Yeah,
And then they had a whole bunch of extras. It was always crowded on
There
this.
were a lot
Yeah.
of
A
extras.
lot
Yeah.
of people around.
yeah. So honestly, good job, Hillbilly Honeymoon. Wahoo,
Wahoo.
monkey out. Wahoo.
Monkey out.
We hope you enjoyed that episode of the Monkees Pod. You can follow us on Instagram on the website formerly known as Twitter at Monkees Pod. I'm sorry, Tony Award winner Ali Stroker.
I'm just a girl who can't say no. Kissing's my favorite food. With or without the mistletoe, I'm in a holiday mood. Other girls are coy and hard to catch, but other girls ain't having any fun. Every time I lose a wrestling match, I have a funny feeling that I won. Though I can feel the undertow, I'll never make a complaint till it's too late for restraint. Then when I want to, I can't say no. Bye.